Hello, welcome to the July Parks and Recs meeting. Can I have a motion to begin?
I'll make a motion to begin. I'll second it.
Okay. I'm gonna take roll. Kate Smith here, Stu McFadden,
Present.
Robert Smith,
Here.
Dennis Kapelinski,
Here.
John Jones,
Here.
Jennifer McConnell, Bradley Chason,
Here.
Kathy Duran, Mark Jacobs.
Here.
Approval of the minutes?
I'll approve.
I'll support.
Okay. Financial reports, revenue?
Hey, Kate, before you go, does everybody have their microphone on?
Yeah, just make sure it's up.
Yes.
Okay.
Good stuff. Okay. That works. All right. Okay, financial report revenue for the ice arena. We're at adult softball, we're at 2,340. And then pavilion rentals, we're at 2,635. Pavilion rentals are starting to slow down. A lot of people want the larger pavilion, and it's booked up pretty much all summer, like I had mentioned before. So it's just kind of fillers for the smaller pavilions moving forward, which we're still getting a steady flow of those, but it's the main pavilion usually everybody wants. Concessions, 227, and then advertisements, $500. So with advertisements, we do have that new advertising plan, which we did update the prices, so then that way it makes more sense. So we are starting to move forward with that, going to businesses on Ford Road and Middle Belt, starting with those. And then we're gonna go to Merriman and Cherry Hill businesses next. So just slowly but surely kind of crisscrossing throughout the city, so.
I had a question.
Yeah,
On the pavilion rentals,
yeah.
are you still making a post? Are you posting, notification that this pavilion is rented?
We have not been able to have those big cases put up yet because we're still waiting on DPS to install them. So it's probably not gonna be this year that we get to that. They are swamped over there, to be honest with you. So they've been really working hard on everything, and they get pulled in a million different directions, especially with the rain that we've been getting. They've been helping a lot of people with clearing out their basements and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things that it might not be able to happen this year. Maybe we'll get them installed in the fall, so they'll be good to go for the spring. But yes, we still plan to get those out and installed, so then that way people can know when it's actually renovated.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any questions or comments regarding ice arena revenue?
No, move along.
Okay, Maplewood revenue.
All right, Camp GC, we're at 3,280. That continues to look pretty good. We're a little lighter this week. We're at 15 kids for camp. But the previous weeks, we've had 22, 24, 25. We took a trip to the petting zoo down in Taylor, I believe. And that was a blast for the kids. The one before that, we went to the bowling alley. That was fun. So we're still chugging along. We are going, Camp GC goes all the way till August 20th. So we're hoping that we continually just fill up weeks each week. What's happening is a lot of the kids are just going to the next week after that week is completed. And I think it's probably a little easier for parents to play by week instead of like paying for the whole summer up front. So, but yeah, that continues to grow and look good. Cardio strength, that's just one of our drop-in classes. With any of our fitness classes, this is the drop-in fees that we get directly for that particular program. But on top of this, we do have our punch cards that allow you to go to any of our fitness classes. So that's where, maybe cardio strength looks a little light. It's maybe because they're using punch cards to go to that class and it doesn't really necessarily count towards that. So just so there's that clarification. Yoga's at 154, kickboxing at 18, and then our fitness punch card is at 160. So that's doing pretty well for us. Nerf Wars, we had 30. Seeds and Sprouts, we had $5. I think that was just a donation since that's a free program that we put on. Senior Riverboat Cruise, $2,600. That was a great thing that Danielle put together. It's a riverboat cruise up in Lansing. I was docked to go as a chaperone, which I was really excited about. And then my seat got sold. And I was happy to give it away to help us, get more revenue. But Yeah, so that's something, we actually had one bus allocated, and then we got so much popularity, we ended up getting another bus, so that one's full as well, so it's completely sold out.
How many people?
I think it was 50, don't quote me on that, but I can get you the real number. It was around that.
So if your seat was sold, who went from the city?
Well, Danielle's gonna be going, and then Annette, I believe, as well. And it's basically, we're just moving all the seniors to the boat, and then everybody's on the boat until we get back, and then we just move them back to the
Right,
bus, so.
but do you have one on each? If you have two buses, you'll have one person from the city on each bus?
Yeah,
correct?
I would assume so,
Okay.
yep. Yep, so, and then Senior Club 1, that's just one of our clubs that comes in. Senior Fitness Room, that's at 293. I'm not gonna go through every single one of these. Arthritis exercise at 450. Senior Alliance, that's for Annette, that helps offset the cost of her. So they actually give us money to go towards her hourly wage. So that makes it to where she's basically free for us. So then hopefully down the road, we can bring somebody on board in the future. Dance, residents, we have 7,187. And then dance non-residents, we have 6,486. Dance donations is at 787. Vending machine, that's at $21, which I think with, I don't know if you guys know or not, but FEMA is now in the Maplewood Community Center for the extended period of up until like September, we think. So hopefully our vending machines might get a little bit more usage for people standing in line. And then just finally, room rentals, we're at $415. And then food pantry, we had some donations of $17.
What's the dance donations?
That can be anything from small donations like it could be a financial donation like these are, but it could also be, people could donate old dresses or dance outfits. So they get donations of all kinds for the dance program.
Does Lori keep all the dance donations and put them back into her program?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, with this last recital that we did, all of those outfits that they did, it made it to where parents didn't even have to pay for outfits, which is a huge savings for the parents.
I've done that before. I donated my wedding dress to a program like that, where, just for like plays and stuff like that.
Sure,
So, yeah.
sure.
And
That's it.
room rentals at Maplewood are gaining some money?
Getting some traction. We're gonna start pushing more for the, like I had mentioned before, the baby showers, the wedding showers, birthday parties. We're really gonna do a push for. So like creating packages like an A and B, so then that way parents can. It's basically all set up for you, and all you gotta do is bring like your pizza or whatever. Like we'll provide paper plates, forks, knives, balloons, tablecloths, that kind of sort of thing. So that's down the line that we're trying to push towards.
Can anyone donate to their food pantry?
Yes. Yep, we've gotten donations from Livonia, we've gotten donations from local people here in Garden City, all over the place. Yep.
Questions or comments regarding revenue for Maplewood?
I was just curious about that senior cruise. Is there entertainment on the boat?
Yes. Yep, it's like a lunch, and then I believe there's some entertainment, like a band of some sort. And then you just cruise down the river, and then you come back, and it's a nice little outing.
Thank you.
What was the cost for that per person?
$50.
That includes the bus ride?
Yep,
Nice price.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Moving on to expenditures.
All right, we got some more field chalk for the softball fields and baseball fields, basically. So that's what the Pioneer Field Chalk is for. The 920 is for getting all of our staff certified in CPR, so everybody is good for another 2 years. And that's gonna be something that's ongoing as we bring on new staff. We'll get them through that class as well, so then that way they're all good to go. Suburban door, that is for our green building. The rolling door, spring broke, so we had to get that repaired. Direct Sports, that is for our order of softballs for the summer. What we're doing with our co-ed league, and this is something that a lot of communities are doing, is for the girls, we actually purchased some 11-inch balls, because normally it's a 12-inch ball for men softball. But what we wanted to do is given it as an option for the girls, that if they wanted to hit an 11-inch ball, they could. So some have taken to it, some prefer just still hitting the 12-inch ball. So it's actually something that, from what some of the staff have seen at other communities, it's a big draw for co-ed leagues. So hopefully word kind of gets out that that's what we're doing with our co-ed league. And it might attract us to be able to maybe do another day of co-ed ball, and maybe continually to fill up our Tuesday night at least, and then maybe expand a little bit down the road. So, where was I? For Imprint, that is for some shirts that we ordered for our staff to replenish what we had. Go for Sports, that was for a team building book for myself, because I'm all about team building with my staff, or I like to call it as a team. So then that way we can always incorporate new things and kind of do things together instead of it's just like, all right, we're meeting, it's just reminiscing, just let's do something different, kind of get us all team oriented. So that's where that comes from. Incorporate, that is for some summer softball shirts for the adults. And then the $5.95 is so that I can go to the National Recreation and Park Association Conference in Nashville in September. So that will be coming up soon. And then the Woodland Lanes is for when we went to the bowling alley with Camp GC. So,
I may have to be the liaison for that Nashville conference.
it's in September.
I was there for the last one with the city, so, I show you around there.
I look forward to hearing what you learned there.
Yes.
I'll be expecting a detailed report.
Actually, you make more, you do more business outside of the conference than you do inside of the conference.
It depends on the conference. We had hours of conference, but we did get out and see a little bit of the town, but it was some long days.
Yeah.
But it is worthwhile.
Absolutely. It'll be my first time, so I'm excited. So.
Sure you can enjoy it.
Going to Nashville, that's your first time?
I've been to Nashville before, but just the first time at the National Parks and Rec Conference, so.
Last item on there?
Maplewood.
Lanes? Yeah, that was for Camp GC.
Okay.
I thought I said that.
He did.
Did.
Thank you.
You did.
I knew I wasn't crazy.
Still. All right, next. Let's go. I'm ready. Come on.
All right, Maplewood. Oh, yes. Why did I put, that's actually, oh, the expenditures. So what the expenditures for Camp GC is for, some of our travel, we paid for some of the buses ahead of time for our next upcoming trips. So that's what a lot of that is. And then there were some other programming things that we purchased. I gotta look at that number again, because I don't know if it's really supposed to be that high, but I will get back with you on that. So, yes. Cardio strength, that is for the instructor, and then same thing with yoga is $350. Kickboxing, $58.50. Tai Chi, that's just for our instructor. Arthritis, I believe that is for 2 months worth of the instructor, because that's actually charged to us bi-monthly. So that's why that is a little bit more expensive.
Why is yoga a little bit more expensive? Is it because there's more days offered?
Yes, I believe.
Is the same instructor for yoga throughout, like the one who does it indoors and?
Yes,
Oh.
yeah, we have the same one. Yep. Dance floor numbers, that was just for Lori, so she can redo her numbers in her dance rooms. And then an AED battery for over at Maplewood. And then,
I have a question, I'm sorry. Is your staff trained on that too?
Yep.
How to use that?
yeah, when we went through the CPR training, they got trained on how to use the AED machine, yep.
All right, thank you.
Yep, and then pantry, this is just them purchasing more food from Gleaners for the 266, and then Aldi's at the 99. Meal prep supplies, this is something that we're gonna be doing in August. We're gonna work with 5 of our participants through the pantry, and we're gonna work on some meal prepping with, some vegetables and stuff from our garden. So then that way they get a better idea of like how to prep the food and working with some of the foods that we have in the pantry. So then that way they can learn a little bit more hands-on instead of just reading it off from a piece of paper. Because that's what we do right now. So we're starting small with the 5 people and then hopefully eventually doing it quarterly to where we can gradually build it and make it bigger. So, and that's just with our pantry participants, so.
Is that done at the Maplewood Center?
Yep, it will be. Yep. And then pantry sponsorship to Camp GC, that's just the $1,200 for the 5 kids per week like we had talked about last month, so.
Questions or comments?
Good to go.
Okay, program report?
I'm sorry, I did have a question.
Mhm.
I've noticed the signs for the yoga around. Did that come out of this year?
Yes, but that was on that was for last month, where we went to Sinorama, and they actually did the signs for us.
All right, thank
So,
you.
Yep, no problem.
Program reports?
All right, so if you guys pull out your little purple sheet, this will kind of show you guys everything that we're going to be doing over at the ice arena. Now, this is kind of, it's limited for a number of reasons. The first reason being is I was hoping that we were going to have our AC units done and ready to go a lot sooner than what we did. I was under the impression that they were going to be done by first or second week of June, and it didn't get done until like the second or third week of July. So that's where this hasn't come out, because I had to wait until they were done. But we're gonna do the best that we can for this month that we have it open. We've had some people come to the futsal and some to the basketball, but we're still trying to push for the dodgeball days. But next year, this will be way more promoted, and it will be in our brochure, so that way people know what's coming in the summertime for the ice arena. So we're just trying to push this as much as we can. We are still offering it to be rented for the $100 for residents and $120 for non-residents still, but we haven't had anybody bite on that yet. The 2 people that I thought that would rent it weren't interested anymore, so it's just one of those things that we're just trying to do with what we have in the short amount of time period that we could do. We were gonna try to do leagues, but it's not even enough time to do a league or even promote it and then run it. So it was just kind of a struggle fest with that.
We could, because when are you putting in ice? Right after August 20th?
Yeah, we're gonna turn on the compressors probably on the 18th or 19th, so we can start putting that first sheet down, and then we're gonna have it painted on the 24th, possibly. I'm still working that out with the painter guy, but he says that Tuesday looks like it's probably the best, so. Yep. So that is that. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Yeah, well, yeah, what is this drop in? $10 and it says $20 to rent and $20 to deposit on the drop-in RC tracks. What's the $10 for?
That's supposed to be, well, that's if they bring in their own car, it's only $10 for them. But if they want to rent one of our cars, it's $20 to rent, and they give us a $20 deposit in case they smack a wall too hard and they break it. Then that way we have some money to fix it and stuff like that, so. I can see where that is a little confusing though. So,
What's futsal?
that is actually soccer on concrete, basically. It's pretty popular in Europe. And it's coming to the US. There's like little pockets of it here in Michigan that's popular. So we thought to do something different. We have been trying to get Jen to promote it as well with her group of soccer players. So she's been trying to help us out with that as well. So,
Thanks.
yeah. Anything else?
E.
Played indoors on a smaller course. Less people. I looked it up, did my homework. So it's 5 people, they say it's 5 people per team, and it's a smaller course.
Yep. Yep.
You wouldn't have to run as far.
That's for sure.
I wouldn't have to run it off.
I'm not gonna play, so I don't have to run. There you go, I like it.
All right, on to B, we have our pantry prep class. That's kind of what I talked about earlier. That's for our 5 clients from the food pantry. That will be on August 11th, just utilizing our fresh produce that we have from the garden. So it's no cost to us, besides an instructor that we're gonna pay for out of the food pantry money, so.
How did you pick your 5 clients?
That was a Pat. She put it out to all of her participants, and basically, she's gonna take, I think, the first 5 that come to her and say that they wanna participate, so.
Thanks.
Yep. All right, Maplewood Garden, just to kind of FYI for you guys, we yielded 13.5 pounds of produce, which was tomatoes, zucchini, and green peppers just recently, so.
No samples?
We're fresh out of samples because I ate them on the way here.
Garden went over pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big over there. So we had some strawberries, we have some blackberries that are good right now. So, if you guys ever want to just come and check it out, you're more than welcome to, so, yep.
The rain has really helped.
Oh, yeah, it makes it to where we don't even have to water it, so it's kind
Oh.
of great,
Yeah,
so,
saving the water bill.
yep,
Really?
oh, yeah. July, we're gonna have another, tech talk with Julie, or I'm sorry, July, we had a tech talk with Julie, and that was 6 participants. And I'll have the next one in our upcoming community events listed. Senior boat cruise, I already talked about that. That has been sold out.
56 people.
Yes, so 56 people. I didn't
You were
even realize.
close.
Yes, so I knew it was 50-ish. And actually, the thrift store is the ones that covered the transportation, so they paid for the buses. So it made it more affordable.
It's really great that it sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea how their sidewalk sale went?
I do not, but I can find out for you. I'll let you know. They did really well on the last one. I think they made like $200 on the last one.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So I just don't know about this most
For the
recent
thrift
one.
store? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
And that's like quarter here, dollar here. It's
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
like really
Absolutely.
expensive. Yep. So, and they're gonna do another one, I think in, I might even have the dates on here. Yeah, thrift shop sidewalk sale on August 14th. That's when the next one's gonna be. So that'll be another hopefully good sale for them, so. Yeah.
I'm curious, you know, in the brochure, I'm not sure the right terminology for it, magazine that we're gonna be sending out to each of the residents.
Yep.
Maybe encourage people in that to have donations, give donations to the,
Be a good idea.
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Make a note of that. All right, FRC Summer Unplugged, they're up to 45 participants.
What is that?
That is FRC's summer camp that they do over the summer. It usually starts the week after 4th of July and goes until, I believe, August 25th. It's the week after, I think, Camp GC, so,
Is that the one that used to be called Summer Heat?
yes, yep. So, and that continues to thrive, so they've been doing really well with that, Kelly, Zach, and Sean, and they have a part-timer that works with them named Mac. So they've all been doing really, really well. Summer dance, we have 26 participants in beginning ballet, and then 27 participants in tumbling. So that's really good. So yeah, Lori's doing a great job with that and all of her instructors, so.
Any questions or comments regarding program reports? Moving on to old business.
All right, so I know that we talked about Civic Rec a long time ago, which was the online registration. That's this little packet right here with basically in a kind of like a packet to give you more information on the program. So we are going to move forward with this. So I wanted to just give out a friendly reminder of what the cost is going to be for it. So the first year is going to be a little under $7,900, but that's giving us the setup training and stuff like that to get it established. And then every year after that, it's going to be $4,725. But this gives us the opportunity for us to have programming, and you can be laying in bed on your phone and you can register for a program. Doesn't matter what hour it is, you could do it at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever time you want to do it. Where right now we're very limited. It's from 9 until whenever the building closes. So like if you're calling for the ice arena programs, it's only from 9 until 6. And then it's not available on the weekends. Where with this, you can register on weekends. You can do it while you're on vacation. So, so I think this will really give us the opportunity to expand what we offer and give the residents the flexibility of registering whenever they want and just being able to do it right then and there. So, but yeah, so this is something that also works really well with our website already, because our website is through Civic Plus as well. So we can actually embed hyperlinks on our website to where if you go to our Parks and Rec webpage and you want to register for adult softball for summer, we'll have a hyperlink there to where you just click on that and it immediately takes you over to the registration page for adult softball, and then you just literally sign up right there and pay. So,
Smart way to do it.
yes, and this is the same program I had at my previous position in Canton, and it's very good. I mean, even if you wanted to give someone's, they're signing up for softball and they want to get a refund or something like that, you can put a credit on account. It's very user-friendly on both the consumer side and also on the administrative side, so.
So, when I read through the agreement, it stated that if you go over a certain amount for the processing, the price will increase?
Yes, so
What that could increase to, and what's the possibility of that in the future?
I don't know offhand, but we can find that out and then bring that to you guys on the next meeting.
I'm just curious, I mean, I don't know how quickly we would get to almost $200,000, but since you've utilized it before, you would probably have a better idea
Yeah,
if that's a possibility of getting to on a yearly thing, or if you don't think we're gonna hit that.
it all depends on how the residents like it or not. It could be to where it's a huge hit and we get a lot more participation in programs, which is a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if the price does increase for us beyond $200,000, I mean, if there's an additional cost, like, that's something that we have to consider that is going to happen, but that's cost of doing business though, too, right?
No, right, absolutely. I'm just
So-
curious, because it doesn't say if it's a percentage or if it's a flat fee or
Gotcha.
exactly how they're going to
Annual?
fix
That's the
that.
amount annual?
Yeah, it would be an annual fee, yeah. So I can find that out for us, if it would be either a percentage or a flat fee.
Yeah.
So can you register for anything, like dance, the senior trip?
Bacon room.
Everything's gonna be on there. We're thinking about pavilion rentals as being like, someone is inquiring about it, because we'd hate for it, we don't know. at my old job, we didn't do it to where you got the big pavilion right away as soon as you got on there. I think it's more of like, hey, you'd like to inquire for it, so then we give you a call back. But I think there might be some flexibility to, if we could make it to where they just register what they want to get, we can make it that happen. But it's still a learning curve for everybody. Like, I didn't oversee the pavilion rentals over at my old job. I only oversaw programming. So that's something that we can kind of work through with this.
Is there a thought to increase the cost of programs? Maybe, I'm just gonna throw a number out there, 2.5%, 5%, to help cover that cost if we exceed it?
I would.
Let's put it this way, for $50 and we pay 5% more, I don't think somebody, if they're going on that trip, for them to pay $50 or $52.50, I don't think the $250 is gonna break them, they're already gonna go.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking of ways that you can help
Oh, yeah.
pay for that additional cost by adding it into the program or whatever you got. And if you make it small enough, it's not gonna make it cost prohibitive.
Sure. Well, and what we did over at and I hate going back to that, but what we did in my previous position is you had early bird pricing, right? So what you do is you set pricing for the fall. You can register for programs from August 23rd till September 5th at a certain price for residents and non-residents. Then after that, the price goes up 20%. Then that way it helps cover those costs of the additional, if you get more money coming in, then that way it helps offset that as well. But then it also, it creates a demand for people to get registered sooner rather than later. Because what we're learning is, some of our programs, people like to wait till the last minute to register. So maybe this will kind of give them a little fire to, hey, I get the cheaper price if I get in there sooner. So, and that's,
That's a
stuff
good
that we can
motivator.
work through. Yes. And that's what we would do for each brochure, right? So like for our fall, winter, we set those dates as, if you're registering for something in December, you want to register early, so then that way you can get the early bird pricing. And then for spring, summer, we could do from February 1st to February 21st, whatever, and then that be the early bird pricing dates. And then anything after that, it's the higher rate for both residents and non-residents. So, and same thing with camp. Like if we were to say, okay, do the same thing. There's a early bird pricing and then a regular bird pricing. So,
I have a question.
yes.
So is this going to benefit the staff in terms of kind of the consumer is doing all the work because they're doing the booking and,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, okay.
Oh,
So,
big time.
so this is going to benefit the staff in terms of they'll be able to get other things taken care of
Yes.
instead of kind of focusing on these aspects?
Yes.
Okay.
Because right now we're doing 3-ring binders for every program that we offer.
Every time I go in, they like go to their shelf and pull out this big binder, flip through it.
Yes, and you have a calendar, like our pavilion calendar book, it's like full of just registrations and calendar, and then everything's like marked, oh, they got a half day and this, that, the other, and this would just make it a world so much neater and easier, and yeah.
So will there be like a go-to to check and make sure if there's a cancellation on something or, when things are going to be rescheduled?
Yep, yes, there's gonna be checks and balances, obviously. With this kind of program, it makes it very easy to know how many spaces or how many spots you have left in a program. So, for example, Nerf Wars, right? Say we normally only take 20 kids, and say we're full, and then all of a sudden a parent calls and says, hey, we wanna actually register, can we register? And then all we have to do is go in there and look. But the cool thing about this program too is you can create wait lists. So in case Bobby decides to back out, maybe he's sick or something, you can go to that first person on the wait list and you can either email them or you can call them. And along with that, you can email by roster. So if you want to shoot out, it's during the winter and there's a snowstorm and we're canceling Nerf Wars because the roads are just too bad. You can either email everybody or you can call everyone, and there's also an aspect of text messaging. So there's a lot of different avenues of way to communicate with all the participants as well. So it makes it that much easier and less time consuming for the staff as well.
And it's a lot more convenient for the consumer.
Absolutely.
I mean, to get a text message or an email alert, I mean, that's really terrific, instead of having to have somebody individually call and, you know, maybe you're able to get a hold of them, maybe you're not.
Yeah, which is more or less.
Does the resident get to pick how they would like to be contacted?
Yep.
What about people that are not tech savvy? There are still people who do not use, they're not good on the internet, they don't have, smartphones. Can they still call and can they still register the current way?
Yep, and there's still that option, or they can even walk into either Maplewood or the ice arena to say, hey, I'd like to register for this program, and they can do it all right there. To
Okay,
where
good.
they can still pay cash and do it that route. If they do a credit card, we'll still have a credit card service fee like we do now. But they'll still have that option to pay cash if they don't want to have to worry about the service fee, so.
I have one final question. This sounds really terrific, by the way. When somebody wants to pay cash, let's say, for instance, will you like hold their spot for, a day or two, and then they can come up and pay cash?
Currently.
If they do everything like online, fill out all the information, and then do they have the option? Because like Walmart does that, right? Where you can put something in a basket, and then they put it on will call, basically, and then
Right.
you go there, get the item, and you pay for it.
I think we would probably still go the route that we do right now, is if you're gonna pay cash, you get the spot when you pay. So we can't hold spots because necessarily it holds up certain things to where, that spot could have gone to somebody that already tried to get into there, and say that person backs out at the last minute, and now we have an opening, so.
What if they put a hold on their credit card? Here's my credit card number, I'll be here in 24 hours to pay.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be able to do that.
No?
Yeah, I would rather us just still do it the way that we do it, like you pay to play, basically. So, for softball, with that being such a more expensive obligation, like that's like $660 right now, I think we would still do the route of putting down a deposit, and then, if they want to pay us later, that's fine, but at least giving us a deposit. So maybe if we went down the road, because a lot of our programs are like 10, 15 bucks, whatever, this here and there. Do we do a deposit? That's something that we can work out down the road. But right now, currently, it's pay to play in order to get your spot, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments regarding Civic Plus?
I think it's a great idea.
Cool. So we'll go to council with that next. All right, Helen Park update. So I got some bad news for that. The picnic tables that had the covering that we were gonna do, well, Ray from Hennessy found out that with the uptick in steel costs, I guess they cost $15,000 a piece now. So what we're gonna look at is just putting a slab there and then getting some permanent picnic tables to put there, just so then that way we have permanent furniture there, instead of having to bring the wooden tables back and forth. And then that way it'll still go with the ADA kind of compliant aspect of it. So, but beyond that, we're just waiting to get the bid requirements from Hennessy, and then we'll move forward with that to put that out to bid.
What about something like fiberglass?
I don't think they make fiberglass picnic tables.
Oh, I didn't mean the picnic table. I
Oh.
meant-
Fiberglass sheets, they do make fiberglass just like they make the metal. They
Okay,
use it in the steel industry.
okay. I can look into that.
Covered or not, I'm glad the picnic table will be stationary. Florence Park has issues with them being moved all over the place,
Yes.
so that'll be nice to not have to drag them back.
Okay.
When is Hennessy, do they have a date that they're gonna give you the information?
No, I've still been waiting on him, so I will reach out to him again tomorrow just to see where he's at with it and kind of do a follow-up. Yes.
Did you get a chance to look at the
Go ahead and pull up,
elevation?
you want to come up to the podium, just so then that way we can.
Did you get a chance to look at the elevation of the land there? Because I walked through that area, I come from Deering heading west.
Uh-huh.
And you'd see on the south side is high elevation, but there's a tree there. And if you go to the north side, it looks like you're gonna have to bring in a lot of dirt.
Okay.
And, you know, that's gonna be a cost impact, but you see there's a whole lot of dirt over there by the football field. Maybe we can find a way to, move it from one place to another at night?
Bring your wheelbarrow out while you're walking. I would imagine that's part of the engineering. They should be looking at that
I
elevation.
understand that, I'm just trying to be
Yep.
somewhat helpful.
Nope, good.
If they're shoveling dirt around, we need some over in that Manor Park.
We've actually, I haven't gotten to that part yet, but we've actually started putting dirt on a lot of the parks to get rid of the potholes, in a sense, out in the fields. So, Mark Morgan, who's one of our DPS guys, has been leading up on that. So we're slowly but surely getting a lot of our parks kind of flattened out, at least the holes filled, in a sense. So,
I noticed a few at Florence were filled in and it
Yep.
was, it looked
Yeah.
nice.
yeah, Kiwanis has
Kiwanis
got
is filled
some
in,
big
yeah.
holes filled, so.
Kudos to DPS for that, I was happy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, City Park, so basically, we have gotten the project agreement from DNR finally. So the National Park Service approved us. So basically, it's a 50-50 match of a total of 450, so we owe 225. So this, I'm going to take to council on August 7th, so then that way we can start getting that started. So I don't think it's gonna be anything we start this fall, but maybe next spring or summer, hopefully, we can get something going.
So we got our grant.
Yes,
That
yes.
is marvelous. Yay, yay, yay. I'm sorry, that's the first I heard of it, so I'm excited.
Yes, yes. So we're pretty excited, so that'll be a big project for us, and getting all of the ideas out on that, and getting that rolling, so we're pretty excited for that, so.
I would think if you bring that to council and they pass it next meeting or so, we can probably start looking at getting stuff ordered and have it all ready and set to go in place in the spring.
Yeah, I hope so. It's also a lot with, contractors and seeing when they're gonna be available.
It's easier to put a bid out in the fall and the winter for spring
Oh, yeah.
than it is in the middle of their season.
Right, yeah, in spring for spring?
And contractors are so crazy busy right now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the sooner the better on that.
Absolutely.
Exciting.
Really great.
So that's,
You just gotta sell the council.
well, we got one done, right?
Well, let's hope. Let's hope.
You want us all to come?
We'll swarm, no?
Yeah.
Swarm,
All right.
Bring my kids.
Yes.
more than merry.
Then the only last thing for old business is summer camp update. Just, we're continually pushing to get registrations up. So if you guys know of anybody that has children, between the ages of 9, or we go down to 6 to basically 10 years old, please feel free to think of Camp GC and come and register with us.
When is the last date again?
It'll be done as of August 20th.
Questions or comments regarding anything from old business?
No.
Okay, moving on to new business.
All right, Ice Arena. So our air conditioning is installed, and we just had 2 cameras installed, so we have some eyes on them right now, 24/7. So the next thing is I had upright fence out 2 weeks ago for a quote. So I'm still waiting to get that quote back. I called them today to see if they have an update on it to get it to us. Upright Fence was the only company that was willing to come out and give us a quote. A lot of people turned me away because they just have so much work and not enough staff. So hopefully we can get that done sooner rather than later. So park cleanup days. So, we have established some park cleanup days, and I have them listed here, the days and times. So if any of you are interested, a lot of these are on Fridays, there's some Thursdays as well. So we're gonna have a lot of Parks and Rec staff out there, but also DPS to handle kind of the bigger stuff. So if you guys wanna volunteer and help give us a hand with cleaning up some of our parks, the first day is going to be City Park on Friday, August 6th, starting at 9 a.m. I didn't put an end date because it could be 9 to 11, or it could be 9 to noon, for all we know.
Where are you gathering at?
I would say probably in the parking lot of each park, so then that way people see us. Then on Thursday, August 12th, which will be the following week, we're gonna do Helen Park first at 9. And then once we get done at Helen Park, we'll move over to Arcola to give them a little cleanup as well. Those are the smaller parks, so I figured we could knock 2 out in one day.
Might want to let residents know so they don't show up at 9 to Arcola.
Yes, that's a good point.
And I was thinking one other thing. Have you got a hold of the Rotary Club and Kiwanis to tell them that we're gonna clean up their park to see if they wanted to come and help?
Yes. Yep.
The only problem with this is they're all on weekdays, so like those of us who work can't participate.
I understand. So this will be the first year of it. Next year, we'll probably space it out throughout the whole summer that we'll say, okay, in May, we're gonna do Mulworth Park. And it'll be on a Saturday morning or something like that, just to where it's, residents can participate as well. With this being so short notice, we wanted to also have DPS involved, so that's why it's during the week in the morning. So, but in future
That
ones.
makes sense, I do understand that.
Yeah. So, but in future instances next summer, we'll do it either in the evening or maybe on a weekend. So
Do you
then-
have a list for all these parks, just an idea of what you want accomplished?
Yeah, so basically, we're going general with trash cleanup. If there's any trees needing trimming or bushes needing cleaned out of fencing or anything like that. If there's any painting that needs to be done, like at Mulworth Park, we need to still do that concession stand. So that's gonna be something that we accomplish, along with cleaning up any trash on the fields. So it's really just general stuff. It's not anything like we're gonna be like digging up dirt or spreading wood chips or anything like that. Nothing as substantial as that. So
You could tell
You're
soccer.
not gonna be planting that birch tree?
it's already planted. Yep,
You could tell soccer and baseball too.
Yep.
For their
yep,
parks that they use.
absolutely.
And I just wanted to clarify for anybody that the Moeller Park concession stand is the old concession stand.
Yes, the old one that's behind Field 7 that looks like white and peach. We're gonna paint it green, so,
I think it's a storage building at this point.
yes, the storage for, I believe, football. So,
Yeah.
yep. All right.
Put it on your
Any-
calendars.
That's yours?
Any questions on park cleanup? All right. Movies in the park, our next movie is going to be on August 14th, and that will be Croods. Did I say that right? Croods, okay. So we'll have it in City Park again. It seemed like that was a pretty good spot. The first week, or the first month that we had it, I think we had 76 people show up.
Pretty good.
And it was literally right after a holiday, so we're thinking if word spreads, maybe it'll be a little bit more popular for this August date, so.
Where are you showing the movie itself?
So if you're looking at the park from Cherry Hill, and you have the ice arena on your left, that big open field that's beyond the parking lot, it'll be on the green building side, but it'll be facing towards the skate park. So everybody sits out in the field.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was a pretty good spot. The lights were all turned off. We had DTE come out and turn off all the parking lot lights and stuff, so it was extra dark in there.
What time did you start again?
We had people show up at 9, but I think we had it start by like 9:40, 42-ish, something like
My
that.
kids really enjoyed it. They liked it.
Did you end up doing any of the popcorn and the hot dogs and that go well, or?
It was, you know, considering we had 76 people there, we sold $20 worth of things.
Okay.
And everything was 50 cents. So I think we
Oh.
did all right.
Okay.
So we did sell popcorn and we sold cans of pop, like Diet Pepsi and Pepsi and stuff like that. So, we're gonna have a better tent this next one, so then that way people can see us. And yeah,
Well, I guess people have to get used to, when they go to it, that there's going to
There's gonna
be
be
something.
Right,
yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yep. So, but yeah, that's the movies in the park.
How exciting.
Yep. So if you guys pull out this little sheet. So before I had told you guys that it was gonna be about $5,800 for the direct mail and everything like that. That was going to be for 10,500 magazines, which that's when we thought it was gonna be 10,382 residents that we were gonna go to. After doing this, this company, and they found out that we have 11,000, a little over 11,000 residents, residents in Garden City. So the price obviously goes up, right, with more cost. So it's going to be a total of $7,451 for the program brochure to go out. But I just want to let you guys know it's still the cheapest way to do it. So we're going to still move forward with it, and it's actually going to print as we speak. So we're hoping that it gets to the households by the second week of August, so then that way everybody can get registered for fall programs. So,
My apologies, are we including the apartment complexes? Because I think we talked about it last time, I don't recall.
yes.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah, this is residential only. There is no businesses in this, so.
On Civic Plus, when people register, can you, ask them like how they found out about it to see if this works, you know? Or
Yeah,
come to the classes or something?
yeah, you can have a questionnaire when people register for things that, how did you hear about us? Just like you mentioned, it could be brochure, could be through a friend or however. So, yeah, we can do
Hope
that.
this brings people in.
Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it for brochure.
So it's gonna go out in August?
Yes, so like the second week in August, it should be out. So, and then the last thing I had was fill dirt. Like I mentioned before, DPS has been going around to fill in holes in all the parks, and slowly but surely they're gonna hit every single park, so then that way they can fill those holes, so.
And I assume they're gonna throw grass seed in there in the fall or whatever.
Yes. I would assume that too.
I just really encourage that large hole that's, would be, I guess it would be west of the sign, Moeller sign. It's fairly large, kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like a meteor strike.
That's one way.
It's not quite that big, but it is fairly large, and it just sinks in there.
Okay.
I drove by there and I was looking at that radio station and it's terrible.
Thank
are
you.
not kidding. I was
Yes.
horrified.
I
I was
was
like, I'm
gonna-
taking pictures.
I was gonna save that for open discussion, but, you know, you can't even see the sidewalk basically down the one side.
All of it,
It's
both
terrible.
sides. It
It's so
was-
trashy looking.
Well, I did realize,
Back
when
over
I
again since
looked
the
at the
last
minutes
time.
from last meeting, I noticed that it was brought up again. I'm like, I thought we already discussed that. It was supposed to be taken care of. I
ongoing
guess not,
problem.
huh?
No.
Yeah,
Well, they take care of it and then I feel like it just does
Yeah.
it again.
yeah.
Apparently, they need a reminder every time. I got a retention area that they don't cut until we go send someone out there to tell them to cut it. Apparently, it's too much effort for them to know that in the summer it's gonna grow.
Especially with all the rain that we have.
Yeah, so, they get fined, and they, you know, then they go out and cut it and it looks good, semi-good for a little bit. Doesn't
Yeah.
ever look really
Just
good.
get rid of all those vines and, I mean.
We can't because it's on their property.
Well, I don't
And
think
then
that
supposedly in Michigan, you can only cut a certain percentage that's on the other side of the fence too. You can't cut 100% of it.
yeah, but the city owns the boulevard right there, right? between the sidewalk and the street. That's not cut either.
Well, technically, they're responsible for it, just like your house. City owns that easement between the sidewalk and the curb.
Right.
You're supposed to cut that,
Yeah.
which they did the last time when I complained, because the radio station building, all the grass in front of there was 2 or 3 feet tall, and along, what is that, industrial, that was all 2 or 3, and they came out and cut it. But apparently with all the rain and summer, they haven't been back. So it's like, we have to keep calling them and threatening them that we'll cut it for a lot of money.
I think it's been like 2 months now. It was bad when I was here last month.
It could be, it was somewhere like that, but I know the last, I mean, it was 2 or 3 feet.
2 months, close to 2 months.
Yeah, it was tall, and then they went out and they did cut it, because I went by there, and it was mowed, so apparently it's either growing really fast or I have lost track, but
Yeah,
of time.
if you get a chance, I would drive by there. I think it's Steel Extrusions or something like that.
International extrusions.
International, yeah. I mean, it's the sidewalk, it's,
Trust me,
I mean, a resident wants to ride a bike or take a walk, I mean, it's pretty much off limits.
Doc's heard me, and so has ordinance and the police chief, so I just mention it, and they know exactly who to call and what I'm talking about.
Maybe we should buy it instead of just telling them to cut their lawn. Let's just rename it.
I've mentioned that a couple of times. We still don't know if anybody uses it, or if it's in use, if the tower's being used, or, I know the building hasn't been entered, there's no way. 'Cause-
It was terrible. It was-
Yeah, I don't know if anybody could get in there.
They can still use the tower, so.
Right, if it's being used. We don't know if if they're still leasing it, or who's doing it, or any of that.
Well, it would be a nice piece of property to own. It's
That'd be really nice.
It's right next to the park.
There's even like down tree limbs inside of there. I don't know if you noticed, but by that house, it's on the south side of the property. There's
Okay.
just trees that have fallen and they just leave them. I was looking around.
You were like, wow.
I know, I was surprised. To-do list. Anybody have anything?
I think he had something, this gentleman here, he was standing up before.
When you guys were speaking of the fill dirt, do you guys try to put seed and stuff in like that to try to invigorate some grass? Because when I was in the park for the music in the park, I noticed a lot of bare areas. But I know because of my own home with trees, you can't grow much grass.
Right.
So I don't know what we can do about it, but some of it look like after a rain, you have mud. And I don't think parents really need to have mud-laden kids to take home. There's no power wash before you put them in the car.
I think you talked about, you mentioned briefly that you wouldn't put down grass seed until the fall.
To the fall.
Yeah,
Right?
I did not say that.
Oh, I just asked if you'd be putting it down in the fall.
And you said yes.
I assumed,
you
yes.
assumed
I
that.
assumed, and
Yes.
assuming is not always the greatest.
I know, but if you put it down now and you get a hot
Figure out
spell,
what assume means.
Oh, I know.
I know what it means.
the seed won't
I've heard.
germinate. If you put it down now and we don't get any rain, the seed won't germinate.
Right. All right, anything else needing attention?
Any word on that, the pads that we had ordered, or that were ordered?
Yes, I emailed them last week, Wednesday, and they are being shipped within 2 weeks.
That's for what?
The fitness court,
Okay.
so the ones that got all tore up, we've been waiting on those since, I believe, May. So,
Oh, my.
yeah, it's ridiculous. But they're paid for, and they should be on their way hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Anything
Apparently,
else?
Manufacturing takes
Things are
forever.
just, come to my world. I have a product that we ordered in 2019, still on back order. May not be here by December 2021.
Did you say cancel?
No, because if
Cancel
I were to
order.
order another one today, it's another year
Yeah.
before it would be here. We
Everything
can't
is
do it.
so backlogged, it's unbelievable. Try and get a stove. You could wait 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
Right, with cars, the same thing because of that
Yeah.
chip.
Cards are still 2 to 3 months out.
Really?
There's no chips.
Oh, at least.
Toyota bought them all.
And they said they're not gonna get any chips for a while again.
Yeah, it's 2 to 3 months before we're gonna see chips.
Jeez.
Oh,
Okay, anything else needing special
Good to know.
attention? Nothing?
Alrighty.
I noticed they, going the walkway, going through Henry Ruff to the park, that's, they maintain, you know how it's growing? Yeah, they're cutting that, you must have mentioned that to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks neat.
Awesome, good.
That looks neat.
Okay, moving on to communications and upcoming events.
All right, just to give you guys some heads up on some things coming around. Craft night was tonight. So we are going to be doing some painted aprons with the participants. And then we're having a senior root beer float social on July 28th. And then Home Run Derby is this coming Saturday for our adult softball league. So that was a hit last year, so we plan to have a good outing this
What
upcoming.
time does that start?
It will start at 6 o'clock.
What time's the senior root beer float start?
That is a very good question.
and where's it
And where
at?
is it?
We'll be at
Lots of
Maplewood,
interest about that.
I assumed at Maplewood, but
and I will look that up after this.
Would that be schnapps?
Not quite.
It could be anything,
quite.
but probably isn't.
All right, then we have our senior tech talk with Julie, and that, I don't even have a date on there, so.
You
oh,
know?
Jeez, oh,
But
please,
you
I'll
have
look that
time.
one up. At least I'm getting better at one thing, right? Senior bingo is gonna be August 4th at 1 PM. Seeds and Sprouts is August 7th from 10 to 2. Senior bingo again on August 11th at 1 PM. Thrift shop sidewalk sale on August 14th. And then Community Garden Day is going to be on August 14th as well from 10 to 2. Nerf Wars will be August 18th at 11 a.m.
What is Community Garden Day consist of?
It's basically learning how to garden. It's kind of like a beginner level
Okay.
type of thing. So you kind of get the grassroots version of it. When to plant things, how to plant them, when's the best season to plant things, like that.
Okay.
That costs money?
Nope.
Do you have to register for that or anything?
Yes, it's usually good to call.
On
it to
that
people.
little thing, we're not there yet.
Is bingo something new or has that always been offered?
That has always been offered. That is something we
that's
offer.
very big. You don't want to
Yes.
you do not want to walk in there and try and talk to any of those seniors in the middle of a game. I will tell you what, you,
Not ruffle their animals or move them.
no.
Or their
Right, yeah, there's.
And if I'm talking to Robert, I'll tell you what, I'll get like 3 other people, shh, shh, quiet, and they will, yeah, oh boy. They'll start yelling at the other guy too. Oh, God,
That's it, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
it's entertaining though. You want to see some angry people.
How many cards do they play?
Just as many as they want, because I know I'm not telling them.
Them 10 cards,
Yeah.
one time I have, or no time to 2.
I think it's whatever they pay for it. Don't they pay like, I don't know, a couple penny, nickel, whatever to,
Or something
so,
for a card, yeah. And then they just, yeah, I couldn't.
I'm on the thrift sidewalk sale too.
Yeah. So
What are we considering a senior?
Yeah, what are
50 and
these?
above?
50?
50
Gonna
and
go
above?
safe with that.
It's either 50 or 55. I think it's 50 though.
Might be 55, I just wanted to verify.
But it's different everywhere. That's the whole thing.
I meant for this, everything that says
Some things
senior,
are
senior,
50, some are
senior,
55.
senior.
It just depends.
Is it 55?
I'm official this year. I can be officially a senior now.
I think it might be 55.
Okay, thank you. I think the, using the workout room is, I think that's 55.
That is 55.
So, so that goes across the board then.
Probably, yep.
That makes sense.
So for the senior tech talk with Julie, it's going to be on August 2nd at 10:30 a.m.
August 2nd.
What does she do? What does she,
She basically talks about technology and getting seniors a little bit more acclimated with them. And it's pretty much you come in and you talk to her about something you're confused on, and she kind of helps talk you through it. So like it could be a cell phone, could be a computer, could be any of that kind of stuff.
And it's
Tablet,
free.
laptop, whatever.
Yep.
All of the above for some of us.
August 2nd?
Second, yep.
Do we know what time the root beer float social is yet?
Working on that.
Okay,
Basically, it's tech for dummies.
Yes.
right? Hey,
It's changing all the time.
All right. While you're looking that up,
Questions or comments for communications and upcoming events?
Good.
I would like a
open discussion.
root beer float, social.
Put your age up, that's all.
I'll just go buy my own.
Hey,
My gosh.
just show up and see if they turn you away. How's that?
there you go.
Tell me you're there in the official capacity of the Parks and Rec chairperson.
There you go, yeah.
She wants to be a spokesperson for the programs. The thrift shop sidewalk sale is from 10 until 2 p.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I'm working on the root beer floats.
Okay, just, yeah.
Okay.
Golden
Everything's
years.
going.
Yeah.
Golden year floats.
Oh, that's even worse.
Dennis said he would accept that more than he would seniors.
No, I
Of course,
said
Dennis
I would
would.
accept, older adults.
Older adults. Seasoned,
Seniors is
a seasoned person.
But
Yeah,
elder.
there you go, so a seasoned person, seasoned,
Seasoned adults?
Yeah, a seasoned.
or the mature crowd.
The mature.
Mature.
All right, well, he's looking up the social time.
Open discussion, would you like to start?
I would. I know we talked about it last meeting, cameras for the bathrooms at the main park, because it was consistently a problem. I wondered if, the needles moved on that at all.
It has not. I am working on getting some signage first, but putting cameras over there is going to be pretty expensive. So we're trying to get updated cameras for Maplewood right now, so then we'll go to the pool house bathrooms right after that. So
How has the bathroom been? Has there been any issues?
not yet.
You had to ask.
But we have had issues in the ice arena bathroom now. Like it's, people just basically knocking off the soap dispenser.
Or the
and
ones that
breaking
can
it.
come from the outside.
Yeah. So it's slowed down, surprisingly. I keep knocking on wood, but like, it's one
Oh,
of
it's
those
gonna
things.
happen again.
Yeah, and that's just the thing that we have to
It's been
deal
going on for
with.
years, and I'd really encourage, Park and Rec to get cameras over there to try and curtail it.
We are going to work on that.
Thank you. That's
Yep.
all for me.
I have nothing.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I was just kind of curious about FEMA in Maplewood. Do they pay for that room at all, or?
We think that they're, and this is think is the key word, that they're gonna reimburse us at the end. Because they wanted us to have an armed guard there, and we said, okay, if you pay for it, and they brought their own. So we don't know. It could be out of the kindness of our hearts, but we honestly don't know.
An armed guard?
I noticed some of the signs on the doors that said firearms prohibited because it's a federal building. So I was just kind of curious if it is considered a federal building now or not.
That wing of the building, probably yes.
Famous in there, yeah.
So,
Okay, just because that's where like the dance and tumbling room is, so there's a lot going on in there.
only for one more week. So this week will be the end of the dance for this summer, basically, and then we don't know how long they're gonna, like, they said till September 15th that they're going to be there. We don't know at what capacity, though. They could be kind of dwindling off, because we've been asking, like Megan and them, if, are we having lines of people coming through, and it's not seeming that way just yet. But we did have something on the news over the weekend, so maybe people will start coming out. We don't know.
There was
Is
a
that
few
open for
when I
just
was there on
gardens?
Monday.
Is it open for just Garden City or other cities?
Other cities, because we're representing the western half of Wayne County, so like Canton, you know, your Livonia, your Wayne, your Westland, all that stuff can come to us.
I believe there was another one in Dearborn.
Yeah, there's one in Dearborn and in Detroit.
Okay.
Yep,
And that's for all of the water damage that was done, is that correct?
yes, yep.
You know, they aren't really paying for a lot either, FEMA's not. I saw a lady on TV from, Grosse Pointe, and they turned her down. They said that her homeowner's insurance would have to cover it, and she said it's only covered about 20%. Say FEMA would only cover 10 grand, I think it was. She said she was really upset, so I don't know if they're gonna give.
They had this, they had the same problem years ago in Dearborn Heights, down near Van Born, when they flooded. FEMA said,
Yep, I remember that.
nope, we're not responsible.
Yeah, I was just kind of
Come
curious
and
about
talk
their
to us, but we're not
intentions
paying.
and what they're doing there, so.
Yep.
Okay, maybe if you could let us know if you find out
Yep.
anytime. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, that's all
Very
I had.
The Root Beer Social is at 11:30 a.m.
Oh, wow.
I can't even do much.
11:30 a.m., that's too early to eat ice cream.
It's too early.
Cut out early.
I don't do lunch
And it
till
runs to
2.
when? 6 o'clock at night, thank you.
There you go, I like that, all right.
Till the ice
Now,
cream runs out.
Till they run out of root beer and ice cream.
I guess I'll just have to go buy my own. Nice to see you guys. That's all I got.
Whoever asked about the Kiwanis sidewalk, that will be done this year when they do the rest of the sidewalks in the city.
Okay.
They're going to extend it to the property line where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's only,
It's probably about 30 to 60 feet, so that's a little ways. We're not sure why they stopped it, other than there is a tree partially in the way that they're gonna.
and they might have thought that was
Didn't
the,
they go around that?
No, they stopped short of the tree.
they might have thought that was the homeowner there on the corner, that was his property.
Yeah, well, they know where it's gotta go to, and it's going out, and it'll be done this year with the rest of the sidewalks in the city, so.
Can you share the sad news that we got tonight with all the rest of the people that weren't here?
About what? Oh, yes. Kathy is going to be with us only until next, this upcoming August meeting, and then after that, she is going to have to retire or.
Take a leave
in other
of
words,
absence, a leave
take
of
a
absence.
leave of absence.
Why don't you see if you
'cause,
can get an FMLA?
she has some other obligations she needs to take care of, so, yeah.
And you've been doing this for a really long time now, haven't you, Kathy?
Quite a while.
Yeah.
Not as long as
You're still just a child compared
Not as long as
to, I'm
these
a
guys.
child compared to Dennis, you're a child compared to me.
How many years have you been on?
I mean, if I had to guess, I think about 7 or 8, something.
All right.
And she's got about.
It's gotta be longer than that. I've been on council since 15. I think you were here before that, weren't you?
I don't remember.
Anything from the audience?
Yes, was there any kind of communication sent to the city manager about the sign in the parks about the dogs under control? Where, you're right, Mr. Jacobs, it is a council issue, but I'm sort of hoping you guys could be a vehicle to bring it to the attention, because I got some scars from it. It's not just something that I'm, dreaming of. There are people that have dogs, they let them run around, and I have mine, and, some of them sometimes just don't get along. So you end up breaking it up, and you need to enforce some way of making sure they're under control.
Do they take them off the leash? Is that what it is?
Pardon?
They take them off the leash? They don't keep them on their leash?
Yeah, they just let them run.
Is there a sign at
I thought there were,
There's signs in every part.
Okay.
The signs were there, and I just, like I said at the last meeting, I just believe that the word control needs to be somehow implemented on there. And the next issue, we spoke with Brad a little bit, but the punch list for the air conditioning, I think we might want to use you guys as a vehicle, because you have numerous, you have engineering, and you have the contractor and everything else, and we want to make sure we get a bang for our buck. So I'm just wondering, has there been any discussion? Have we made an attempt? Because with some of these other things going on in the city, we need to set an established pattern on how we're gonna protect our residents on the work that's being done within the city. And the next issue is the one that just doesn't go away. It's the Snow Hill amphitheater. Is there a way that maybe you could get on Comcast, put in the question, do you want one that had an 800 number for yes or no? Let's get rid of the conversation, but see what the citizens want. And I think that's what we're looking at right now is transparency and accountability within the system.
At the previous master plan meeting, that's where that idea kind of came from and was talked about. So I would think at the next master plan, which is coming up probably in a few years.
Next 2 years.
Residents
Next
will
2 years, yeah.
get to come again and, have their input. So we can.
Wasn't that part of that survey?
No.
And my other question is that GCYAA is separate from you people, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
When do they have meetings and how, I mean, is it one of those just before each season people get together?
I did not know, Mark.
They meet every month on a Monday.
I think it's on their website.
Yeah, it's got to be on their website, and I want to say it's the third Monday, but I'm not positive. And they usually meet, summertime when it's nice, it's usually over at Mueller Park somewhere, either by the concession stand is where it's usually at. And then wintertime, they usually get a room or a building, use a building somewhere. But it should be on the GCYA website.
And that caught me off guard when I found out that it was two separate entities, because I
Yes.
thought all Parks and Rec took care of every kind of activity within the city and, you know.
You got the Garden City Soccer Club, you got GCYA, you got the Garden City Hockey Association. Those are all separate entities that,
GCYA's gotta be how many years old?
A lot.
Really?
I know it's.
Older than me.
I know it's more than 30.
Yeah.
yeah, it's right, it's,
Way more than 30.
I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around 60 because I know, oh man,
Little League Baseball 59 that wants to get.
Kurt Blankenship, I know they celebrated his 50th anniversary.
Then he must have played under GCYA.
Yes.
Yeah, Kurt Blankenship was around for 50 years, and he's probably been passed for like 10 years maybe, so
Could be 70 years, 75.
somewhere around there. GCYA's been around a long time.
Now, is our GCYA associated with some sort of state or international organization, do you know?
Not that I know of. I mean, they belong to different groups, but they're not, it's not like a,
You know how everything in society we see.
no, they belong to like the, different AAU baseball they'll play under or with, or, whatever affiliation they want to get involved in, but that's all up to them.
Never gets easy, does it?
Okay, real quick, I just wanted to also say about the RC cars, that, I'm glad that you came to a compromise and worked it out with them.
For those of you that might not know, we actually were able to talk with one of the group members for the RC track over at City Park. We were getting a lot of complaints about the dust with people at the pavilion, at the playgrounds and stuff. When they'd be out there, it'd be kicking up dust everywhere. So I met with one of the individuals, and they're actually creating a new track right over by the ice arena that's away from everybody. So it's a win-win for everybody. So they were very welcoming and trying out a new area. So we're pretty happy with that.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okie dokie. Thank you very much, everyone.
You know,